Now, I wanted to ask you about your film Tomboy and the idea, the subject of youth and adolescence. I'm curious to know, what is it that draws you to this age, this time of life?
Well, several things, because, well, first, I think you should talk about what you know, because it allows you to bring fiction. Talking about something I wouldn't have been going through, I would stick to the cliché, I guess. So it's not about being intimate, it's about knowing what you're talking about so that you can get more generous with it and make it entertaining. And also, it just allows you to, it just gives you very strong characters, you know, because youth is the moment where you leave everything for the first time, and you have very strong desires, and it's very sensual, and so I like I like the perspective of narrative and cinema that those kind of character brings.
And do you think that there's more of a story about gender and identity in youth than there is in an older age?
Well, it's just that at that time everything is open, so I guess you can play with identity. When you're a grown-up, you have to choose. They make you choose, or I mean, at that time of life, everybody can play with identity, so it's more open. So that's why I like it, because it's common to a lot of people.
Okay. Something that I found very interesting was the fact that I watched it French version with English subtitles. I know that in the French language, as in Italian, the gender is given away. So when Lisa asks, when she says, "Oh, you're shy, you're new," it's all given away that she's calling him a boy already. Yeah. But in English, it's not. It's neutral. But it worked anyway. The actress. I mean, I wondered, did you see that? Did you make that as an international thing, or did it just happen naturally when you were making it?
Well, I hadn't thought about the fact that French would allow us to be ambiguous, whereas the English wouldn't. But it doesn't matter, because when I directed the actress, I said, you have to show that she's wrong about you, but that you're willing to embrace what she says. So I guess that's why you feel it.
Because you really feel like she's on the edge and she's stepping off.
Yeah.
No, and it's very, you got her to be very spontaneous about it too, because it wasn't that calculated, no? And yet, obviously she had some leanings towards being a tomboy, and yet there she was. So, and that was something that you discussed with her, and she was able to do that.
Yeah, that's the whole, apart from the way she acts, it's the whole movie is built around this idea that it just happens. It's not something she had premeditated. It's not, you know, there's no determinism, even though she's kind of a tomboy. She hasn't thought about playing the boy. It just happens. So there's a quid pro quo.
Right. Okay. I also wanted to comment on the fact that it's very timeless. I think similar. I have not seen Water Lilies, but I read about it, and it sounds like it was also sort of in this I don't know, bubble, but in the sense that you don't really know when it is. There are no cell phones. There's no real giveaways, no, in terms of when it's happening. And what is it that draws you to this timelessness?
Well, it's so that the audience can relate strongly. I really like to work on empathy and identification. And so I want everybody to connect and say, okay, this is the childhood of today, but it could be also my childhood. And also because I think cinema is about building a universe. And, you know, it's about it's about playing between what's real and what's stylized. And I feel like, you know, you don't have to be Tim Burton to have a universe. You know, it's not because it's Barocco. And so I like to build my own universe, and I think that timelessness is a very great option for cinema, because it can be once again shared with